Hello and welcome back to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I'm Dustin. We are looking at Amazon today, which is actually very rare. We don't usually look at Amazon on the most active list on Yahoo Finance, but today we are making a special exception because it is earnings day for Amazon and people love looking that ticker up. Now we can see essentially that Amazon has done nothing over the past 2 days. It closed at 128.21 yesterday and closed at 128.91 today. Now maybe that's indicative of having such a large market cap, but more than likely it is just based on a entire market based on fear, where people are terrified of being on the wrong side of earnings of one of the most important companies in America. We can see though that the price is not necessarily in a great spot. It's been moving up and has been steadily over the entire summer. It is up what looks like 30%, I guess, so it's doing great. 30% since like April of this year, which is fascinating. This thing in 3 months is up 21%, and in 6 months is up 31%. What a move for a mega tech company. It doesn't really show one direction or the other, but you just have to believe that it's bullish. We don't have a go long or go short necessarily in the short term. We did just lose the go short. We do have a go short in the intermediate term, and we have nothing for the longer term. Now, when we look at tomorrow, we are going to be a bullish short term, bearish intermediate term, and bullish longer term, but I don't think that's really indicative. The after hours, I think, is doing well because of their earnings, but we will find out what the market says by the end of the week. Now, we can see that the falling bear here in rolling sentiment has essentially shown that there was no direction or clear market demand or supply for Amazon. It's trading like a utility at this moment. It must just make people feel comfortable, and equity managers have to own it. Now we look at the trading signals. This is something I'm starting to look at now. We see that we are getting more bull signals in the bull Q3. We'll have 5 tomorrow versus on the bear Q3, we are actually losing signals. We're going from 4 to 3, and we do see a falling peak, which makes sense, but I would like to see that actually, because if you think about where we are here, that made a lot of sense. If you're at 133, it was telling you to essentially sell that peak or the kind of the rise that we'd seen, and that something negative was at least about to happen, which there's nothing really negative that happened here in Amazon. It's just kind of a different look because of earnings. But remember, if you want to get 25 stocks to your inbox, sign up for the New High newsletter. More on that at the very end of the video. So what we're going to look at is the up close version of the ultra fast sentiment. It's not super great for Amazon. On the weekly, it does look like it got a little overextended in March here. It got really going. It's at 57%. So this is probably, if anything, just sideways action. I mean, Amazon is at essentially the bottom of its range now. It's at 124, getting close to it. But if you look at it on the weekly for the weekly range for Amazon has been so wide and it's pretty much been screaming at the top of the range since it hit the bottom of the range in November of 2022. It essentially went sideways from November 2022 until March, and then took off like a rocket ship. Kind of impressive. Looks like 2021 markets a little bit. What we see now is that the price correlation is flipping positive on the daily. The one thing I'd love to see before we even look at the volatility is that it's matching what's happening in the weekly. So when you get a matchup where the weekly and the daily are aligned, it usually is a very positive look. And what I like is that the volatility is actually already very high on the weekly. The Amazon volatility is actually very high already. And it may roll over, but it'll take a little bit. And the daily volatility looks like it has to reset, and the correlation will rise with it. So you could see a nice aggressive move in Amazon here. You're already seeing a little uptick in the volume, which is good to see, just with the red line starting to kind of flip up. Now that I know a lot of it's going to be based on yesterday's or today's action, but it doesn't mean anything in the sense of being indicative of the average of the mean, because essentially the average of the volume was already going up in general. Today just helped pull it in that direction even more, which I'd love to see. Daily sentiment. What's actually really great about this is that it's been going down, that it's at 53% right now, because Amazon could easily get up to 66% bullishness, and it's only at 53%. That's a lot of potential upside. And just remember, the market wants to go up. Like, the market actually wants to go up. There's no person there's a few people who want it to go down, but in general, the market's either going to go sideways or up. And that is the type of move that you're just going to try to hold on for. And right now, Amazon has essentially been setting up. It's been going sideways. It looks like since the middle of June, right? Like, it's been higher than this price at the close at 130, but not by much. I mean, it closed at 128 today. So essentially the entire summer up to this point, so like 6 weeks or so, this thing's been doing nothing, which means that it's even more set up to possibly go higher. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you long or are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is it even a good review? And before you go, subscribe to the New High newsletter. We send you 25 stocks to your inbox, breaking out every single Sunday. I'll talk to you soon.